Hi, I'm Adam, and this is Modern Windows Fan Video. This is the fourth video in our Introduction to Windows Phone series. In previous videos, we've covered a lot of the basics like email, tiles, start screen. In this episode, we're going to cover Xbox Music. We're going to cover the Xbox Music Pass service and the Xbox Music app for Windows Phone. I listen to a lot of music. I'm a musician, and I don't just like to put on music for background. Like I love to find new bands. I have thousands of songs I listen to. So a good music service is really important to me. Microsoft offers something called Xbox Music Pass, which is, in my experience, the best music service there is anywhere. And I'm pretty sure I've tried them all at this point, or at least all the big major ones. Xbox Music Pass is, you can think of it like Netflix for music. It's an all-you-can-eat subscription service. You pay $10 a month in the US, and you can download all the music you want, stream all the music you want. You can do all this cool music discovery stuff, find artists related to other artists, create radio stations, etc., etc. When you pay, you can use it on your phone, and you can use it on your tablets, and you can use it on the web, so you can use it on a work computer or whatever. Super useful service, totally worth the money. This video assumes that you're an Xbox Music Pass subscriber. They offer like a 1-month trial for free, so go out and get it, give it a shot. If you have Xbox Music, this video is going to be helpful because I'm going to show you how to use every single feature that the service gives you. The service actually gives you a ton of features. And if you learn them all, you don't need to use a ton of different music services. You can just use Xbox Music for everything. You don't need Xbox Music and Spotify and Pandora, blah, 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 blah. If you use Xbox Music, you've got one service that does everything you could possibly need. So again, this video, the rest of this video, we're going to cover the Xbox Music app for Windows Phone. And this video assumes that you're an Xbox Music Pass subscriber. If you just want to play music on your phone and you don't want to subscribe to Xbox Music, you won't need this video. What you can do is you can follow along here on this side. If you go to your app list, you can see this guy called Music and Videos under M here. That's the built-in music player that comes with Windows Phone. You can copy MP3s to your phone through the music, through the Windows Phone app for Mac or Windows, or you can just hook it up and like a file, like a USB drive, just copy it over. And any music you copy to your phone will show up in Music and Videos. So if you just want to play music on your phone, play stuff you already own, you can use the Music and Videos hub. But if you subscribe to Xbox Music, you want to do all this fancy stuff like cloud collection and artist discovery and radio and all this stuff, then the rest of this video is for you. So what I'm going to do is you'll be able to see a preview of my phone over here, and I'm going to hold my phone up to the camera. I'm actually going to switch cameras to the back camera on my Surface so that you can see what I'm doing. So let's do that. I'm going to lower my kickstand on my Surface here, a bit more comfortable. Okay, so the first thing you'll want to do if you're going to use Xbox Music is you're going to want to go to the store, do search, and search for Xbox Music. You're going to want to download the Xbox Music app. So like I covered a second ago, Windows Phone has a built-in music player called the Music and Videos Hub. But if you want to do all the fancy stuff in Xbox Music, you're going to want to go to the store and download the Xbox Music app. Okay, once you've downloaded that, it will show up in your app list under X, Xbox Music, and you can pin it to your home screen, your start screen. You can see I've got it pinned right here. When you launch Xbox Music for the first time, it will ask you for your Microsoft account details so that it can access your subscription. So you'll want to do that right away. So now I'm going to cover every single feature of the Xbox Music app for Windows Phone so that you can kind of do everything that this offers. Because this Xbox Music for Windows Phone offers way more functionality than the kind of basic music players that come with most phones. So you'll definitely want to learn how to do everything you can do with this. So when you first open the app, it takes you to the now playing screen. This is going to show you whatever you have playing right now or whatever you played last. You've got some buttons here, normal transport controls, back, forward, and play. And then you've got random, repeat, and you can click this button here, tap this button that looks like a list to get to the track list for the album you're listening to. If you hit down here, you can do select, and you could delete those, or you could actually hit this save button and you could save that track list as an album. I mean, as a playlist. That may seem kind of weird, but if you were listening to a radio station or something like that, or a mix, you might want to save what you're listening to as a playlist. So that's why that functionality is there. Back at the now playing screen, you can see down here there's the three dots, the ellipsis. That tells us that there's a menu. There's a lot of stuff under here. There's a search, so you can search everything, albums, artists, whatever. You have your settings. You can create a radio station. You can share what you're listening to, artist info, more in the store, and add to. We're going to cover all of those features in a bit more detail in a little while. So if we go to the next tab here, we can see all of the various ways you can slice and dice your collection. You can do artists, albums, songs, genres, playlists, and radio stations. Let's jump right into albums first. So you can see a list of all the albums that you have in your Xbox Music collection. Just like we've covered in other videos, if you tap one of these headers, you can get an alphabetical list. So if we wanted to go right to albums that begin with N, we could go right to N, and we can see albums that begin with N. If you want to just play an album, you can hit the play button over the album art, and it's going to bring you to the now playing screen and start playing that album for you. Go back to albums here. If you click on the title, you'll be brought to the page for that album. In the page for that album, you can choose to download the album. So by default, it's going to stream. But if it's an album you listen to a lot and you don't want to burn your minutes, your data every single time you listen to it, you'll probably want to hit download. And it will download to your phone. You could also download individual tracks. So if you just listen to this track all the time, you could just download that one track, and then you'll have that track on your phone anytime you want to listen to it. You can see it's downloading right now. Xbox Music is smart enough to tell the difference between a stream track and a track that's local. So you can see here, next to the artist name, down the bottom, 9 Inch Nails, on the tracks that are online, it's got this little kind of circle with some lines coming out of it. That means it's a streaming track. If you don't see the download and you don't see the circle with the lines, it's a local track. Some things you can do here. You can look at a review of the album. So that's pretty cool. You can sometimes find some interesting backstories on albums, famous albums. And then down here we have some options. You can select. So if you wanted to download a couple tracks from this album, you could do that with selection. And then down the bottom here, you could delete or download. You could also add to, so let's say I want to add those 3 tracks to a playlist. You could select the playlist here and add those tracks to it. We're going to press the back button to clear that selection. The other thing you could do down here is you could create a radio station. So this is sort of like Pandora. You can create a radio station based on an album. So if we tap radio, it's going to start playing tracks that are like the tracks in that album we just listened to. We click this, if we click the list here, we can see all the tracks it's going to play. So remember earlier when we saw that save button, we might want to make this into a new playlist called like Perfect Drug Tracks or something like that. So that's some of the stuff you can do with albums. It's pretty powerful. You can download albums, you can create radio stations based on albums. The other thing you can do is you can pin an album to your start screen. So if you know you listen to an album a lot, you can pin it to your start screen, and then when you tap the tile it created, it starts playing that album right away. And that is very, very useful. In the first video I did on Windows Phone, I discussed how the start screen is more than just an app launcher. It allows you to really customize your phone. Well, you can see here, I've got a music section, and I've got my favorite albums, and my favorite radio stations, and my favorite Nokia mixes all pinned to my start screen. So if I'm, out walking the dog, or if I'm, gonna take a drive, and before I go driving, I want to select some music to listen to. If I don't want to hunt and peck through my massive music collection, if I just want to get right to one of my favorite albums, I can say, you know what? Let's put on Modest Yahoo, and boom, there you go. So definitely explore pinning albums to your start screen. It is not superfluous. It's really powerful, and it's one of the things that's really different about Windows Phone. So we've looked at the albums, but let's look at the artist screens. We can actually do a lot with the artist screen. So let's open one of my favorite bands here, Norma Jean. I went to artists and I went to Norma Jean. Now we're in the artist hub for Norma Jean. We can see all of the albums I own by Norma Jean in my collection, and you could just play them. So if I wanted to play Wrongdoers, I can just tap it, and we're gonna listen to Wrongdoers. I can tap Norma Jean down here to get back to the Norma Jean artist hub. So I can play their albums, but what's cool is I can do Xbox Music Store down here, and I can see all their albums in the store. So if there was an album I didn't have, I could add it to my collection. I have everything Norma Jean has. Well, actually, all right, so this single here. I can long press this single. All right, maybe I'm mistaken. I can click on the single. I can say add to collection. And now that album that I didn't have is going to be in my collection for Norma Jean. So that's how you can kind of explore stuff that's on Xbox Music. Let's look at another example, maybe an artist that I have less stuff by. Let's look at artists. And I know there's a lot more Beck than I have. Here's the Beck stuff I have. I can go to the Xbox Music Store, say, all right, I don't have this album. Let's tap it, add to collection, and now that Beck album is going to be in my collection. It might take a second to update, but it's going to be in my collection. So when you're on an artist hub, you can see a lot. You can see songs. You can see a bio of the artist. These are really cool. If you really like, knowing stuff about musicians you listen to, there's a lot of information here. It's really cool. This is awesome. You can see related artists. So if you have an artist that you kind of want to do some music discovery on, you can go to the artist hub and go to their related artists. And it's like, oh, wow, Regina Spektor. I love Regina Spektor. And I don't have any Regina Spektor in my collection. That's a massive oversight. So I'm going to add a Regina Spektor album to my collection. Add her to my collection. This is a really good album. And now we can see Regina Spektor, what we saw from the cheap seats in my collection. Go to songs, bio. I can read her bio. I can see related artists on her. Oh, Fiona Apple. I love Fiona Apple. So you can really hop from artist to artist. You can just spend time. You can sit down with Xbox Music and some headphones and just go artist hopping and explore who's related to who, and just adding music. I don't think I have Tidal in my collection. Actually, let's see what Fiona I have in my collection. I've got an Extraordinary Machine, Title, When the Pawn. Alright, so I've got all our major stuff. So that's kind of the power of the artist hub. You can also do the stuff we looked at with albums. You can create a radio station, so I can create a radio station based on Fiona, and I'm going to see songs, I'm going to hear songs from her and songs from artists related to her. So another great way to do music discovery. So you might, throw on Fiona Apple Radio while reading her bio and exploring related artists. So a really cool way to sit down and spend some time with your music. You can also pin. So if we go back to Fiona's artist hub, we can pin Fiona Apple to the start screen. You can see, again, that's a really cool way to just start listening to a radio. Just start listening to an artist that you love. Now, if we go back to Xbox Music, we've looked at, some of the artist stuff and the song stuff, but also let's take a deeper look at radio. So we've played with radio a little bit here and there. Basically, what we've done is we've seen that for artists and albums, we can play a radio station. But every time you make one of those radio stations, it actually gets saved in your radio station. So, for example, let's go to artists. Let's pick an artist I haven't made a radio station on before. How about Daft Punk? So we've got our Daft Punk artist hub here, and we're going to start playing Daft Punk radio. So now we've got our Daft Punk radio station, and if we go to radio, we're going to see Daft Punk under there. We can start playing Daft Punk radio right from here, or we can long press, we can pin to start. So now we've got our Daft Punk radio tile on our start screen. And I'll drag this up to here. There we go. So now, anytime I want to listen to Daft Punk radio, I've got it right here on my start screen. I can press play. Daft Punk radio. So you can turn your start screen into a kind of personalized music app by pinning your favorite artists, your favorite radio stations, your favorite albums right to your start screen. Makes it a super convenient way to get to your favorite stuff, and a way to really personalize your phone, because you like seeing the album art from the albums you listen to. It makes your phone kind of individual. The last thing I wanted to show was how to get more music. We've already looked at that a bit. So when you're in the artist hub, you can look at albums that are in the Xbox Music Store, and you can download those and add them to your collection. But let's say you want to grab something by an artist that you haven't even, you don't have anything by yet. You could search, and we could say, try and think of an artist I don't have anything by. Not sure here. Well, we'll just search for an artist. We'll just search for, I have a lot of Tori Amos, but we'll search for her anyway. And it's searching the store, and artist Tori Amos, and now we're on Tori Amos's music hub. If we do in collection, we can see all the stuff of hers that I have in my collection. It should bring stuff back, but there we go. And then we can add stuff from her collection, from her catalog to my collection. Add to collection, and now this album is going to be in my collection. Right from the store, you can do all the same stuff you were doing before. You could look at related artists, and you could listen to an album that's in the store without even adding it to your collection. So if I just wanted to check out this track from this album, I don't have to add it to my collection. I can just listen to it. So if you want to just explore the store and not necessarily add everything you see to your collection, you can do that. The other huge advantage is because you'll be keeping 90% of your music in the cloud and only downloading the stuff that you use the most, you won't be using any space on your phone. So, instead of keeping 30 gigabytes of music on your phone that you hardly listen to, you might keep 1 or 2 gigabytes of music on your phone, and everything else you have access to it, but you don't ever have to worry about burning up space. More space for apps and pictures and fun stuff. So I definitely recommend it. And with that, thanks very much for checking out this episode, and in later episodes we'll cover more apps.